Hey everybody, I'm JimClassic, and you are watching Geekin. And for today's video, I would like to talk about something that I have been looking forward to for a while. The Transformers Missing Link Optimus Prime. This guy came direct to me from Amazon. I mean, I paid for it. I wasn't sponsored or anything like that, but I got this guy at Amazon. That's what I'm trying to say. And like I said, I've been looking forward to this guy for a good long while. I mean, look, an articulated G1 Optimus Prime, yes, please and thank you. You know, by now, you probably should have already seen the short that I did, but, you know, if you haven't, this is going to be the long-form version. And anyway, yeah, well, let's talk about the package just real quick. Well, looking at the box real quick, you can see that very familiar G1 art design with the new character art of Optimus Prime, which is just as a hint of what this new figure can do. I love that old school battle scene on the back. Unfortunately, when Amazon delivered the package, the box had been a little bit damaged. Now, the good news is I'm not exactly a mint in box collector, so this wasn't exactly an issue for me. Just, you know, for anyone who was, that's not cool. After opening up the box, not a fan of the styrofoam shell. It's 2024, I think we're kind of beyond that at this point. Taking everything out of the box, there is a lot of stuff between the figure, the trailer, the weapons, things to put together, collector's cards, instructions, and stickers. Not a fan of stickers, but however, I won't really be needing them. After putting the wheels on roller and snapping a few missiles off of the sprue, I think we're ready to move on to the truck mode. Starting off in truck mode, naturally, to the untrained eye, you would pretty much just see a G1 Optimus Prime, and you wouldn't necessarily be wrong, with the exception of maybe the truck having headlights sculpted in instead of those vacuumous holes of the original toy, and it would be completely understandable. But the Missing Link Convoy is not just your G1 Optimus Prime reissue. This is an advanced, a improved upon G1 Optimus Prime. I mean, what else can I say about this truck mode? It's G1 Optimus Prime. We've all seen it. It's got the die-cast metal frame around the windshields. The sculpting is mostly accurately replicated. Rubber tires, nice shiny vacuum metal plastic. The truck rolls. It's got all the details we're familiar with. The only difference is that the stripe on the trailer is a tampograph and not a sticker. It looks great with original G1 cars. It's awesome. I don't really know what else to say about it. He kind of moves around, he does wee, he does that, he does wee, you know, all that jazz. And rounding the corner here, we have the original G1 Optimus Prime right next to Missing Link Convoy, and, well, you can definitely tell this is a G1 toy because look how used he is. That chrome is faded, the stickers are peeling, just doesn't hold it anymore. Tires, the rubber tires are still good. Usually, I'm surprised to see rubber tires on a G1 toy still good. But actually, a lot of my G1 toys, a lot of the rubber tires are still in good condition. I mean, some of them are starting to go, but you know, I guess I kept a lot of my old toys in better condition than I thought. But I mean, you can see. Well, first off, you can see how beat up this one is versus the brand new shiny one. But I mean, there's, you know, you almost can't tell the difference. I mean, well, you can tell the difference, but you know, you can see there's almost no difference between the sculpt. I mean, there's, you know, that is there where there's a gap there, but you know, got the stickers background. I got the stickers backwards on this one, but anyway. And this isn't even my original Optimus Prime. My original Optimus Prime was actually disassembled years ago when that's a long story. This is probably my third G1 Optimus Prime. I have like, yeah, I think I have like 3 of them. But this is the one that's in best condition. Now this, I think, is my original G1 Optimus Prime trailer. I think. But whatever. I think I have 2 trailers and 3 Optimuses. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, there are definitely, you know, they are identical except for like really the headlights and of course the condition of the toys. But anyway, if anyone out there already has a G1 Optimus Prime, you pretty much know how to transform this guy. There's not going to be a lot of differences between the two. If you've never had a G1 Optimus Prime, again, it's not a difficult transformation at all. So we're going to start with the trailer. Just take that off. We'll start with the cab. The beautiful, beautiful cab. So we start with the legs. So the legs have already been nice enough to unpeg themselves. There are 2 pegs there. I guess that's my one complaint, that they don't always peg in well. That might be one of my few complaints about this toy, is that they just don't peg in well. Anyway, they've unpegged themselves, and you just lower the thighs. They're not exactly on ratchets, but there is a tab right there that kind of locked them in place, and you just bend the toes. There we go. And now you move all. Yeah, we kind of. And as you can see here, the crotch has to be split open, so kind of do that. Now, we grab the headlights of the cab, just kind of rotate them out that way and that way. And here we have one major difference between this and the original G1 Optimus Prime is the hands are already attached to the arms. They're not separate pieces, so there's no parts forming. Anyway, you fold out the wrists. There we go. Now, back here, the back of the cab is split, so just kind of open it up that way, open it up that way. We've revealed the arms. We did do a slight head reveal, but oh well. And then the head kind of flips up like this, and bam, we have Optimus Prime in robot mode. And I have to say, I love this figure. I'm so glad I got this guy. So, I mean, it's so weird. I've been a Transformers fan ever since I was a kid. I've owned the original Optimus Prime. I grew up with Beast Wars and G2 and, Armada. I was an adult by Armada. But, so we've had modernized toys, for decades at this point. Modern engineering with, posability and articulation. And yet, just to see this G1 Optimus Prime, the king of the bricks, and now has this fully articulated figure. I'm just, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me a little giddy to see an original Optimus Prime, or at least, something similar to original Optimus Prime. This is obviously, they obviously did not 100% use original molding here, but it's just so cool to see a G1 Optimus Prime with today's engineering, and it's so great. But anyway, yeah, here we have Optimus Prime, and again, it's it's great. I can't emphasize this enough. It is fantastic, and I love every second of this guy. So, starting with the head. First off, I love the head sculpt. I've always liked this Optimus Prime head sculpt, and my personal opinion, I think Optimus Prime is better with yellow eyes. I'm gonna say it. Blue eyes do this man no justice. Yellow eyes are where it's at. Right there. We got a nice head sculpt. We got the big truck. We got the big truck body here. The arms. Now this is cool. These little pistons and the little trapezoid thing, this is sculpted detail. Where the original toy, this would have been a sticker. But no, these are sculpted and painted. And it looks so freaking good. We got the nice chromed legs. Again, the knees, where these used to be stickers, are now sculpted and painted in a nice paint job. Very clean. Oh, I just noticed this. The little yellow square is down there, and right there, the little square is up there on the top. So I never noticed that before. Anyway, the legs are good. We already covered the feet, kind of. They are now the headlights are now the tail lights are now the feet. And of course, moving on to the back, Optimus Prime is pretty hollow, which is fine. That is to be expected. So, look at that. We have a head rotation, and it's great. Now, modern engineering still has its limitations. It's still a G1 toy, so there's no ball joint. The only way you can get his head to look up is if you, move the flap up. And come on. We're not. I mean, I suppose it could, but I'm not doing that. I'm happy with the rotation. I'm happy with that. Anyway, we have a rotating shoulder. And it's not ratcheted, but it is, fairly firm I don't want to say tight. It's definitely not tight, but it's definitely a firm, rotation. So you can, hold it up. I mean, come back in 20 years, we'll see if that arm can still hold itself up. But right now, it's a tight, it's a firm joint. Anyway, you can rotate up there the shoulder. You can also rotate right. Oh, we don't want to hurt that smokestack. You can also go up there with another shoulder hinge. So he's got 2 shoulder hinges. And you can see the mushroom peg right there. And we have a bend at the elbow. Now this is where the ratchet is, but the original toy had a ratchet there too. And we can also bend at the elbow. And back. We have a swivel at the wrist. You can even kind of bend the wrist that way, but that's mostly because of the transformation. That's mostly due to the transformation, but it's still there if you want to use it. And the hands open up, just like with Earthrise Optimus Prime. Another cool feature here is there is an ab crunch right here above the grill. So now this takes a little bit of force, and this does make me a little nervous, but look at that. You can get Optimus Prime into an ab crunch, and you can see you can see part of the engineering right there. But yeah, we have a ab crunch. Now, like I said, that is tight. I'm probably not going to be using that very often, but it is there. Now the tires, they're on these hinges so they can move out for the articulation. And speaking of articulation, Optimus Prime can kick. He can kick up, and he can go back that far without the springs doing it for you. Because if those of you remember, those springs in the back and the butt would do that sometimes, and that would be very annoying. Now another issue that I'm a little bit nervous about is we do see a thigh swivel, and that makes me nervous. Did you hear that creaking sound? That's not something I'm going to be utilizing very often, because especially on this one, this is tight. This is tight, and that worries me. So these thigh swivels, I mean, maybe it might be an issue of loosening that screw a little bit. I'm sorry, it was blurry. Maybe it's just an issue of loosening that screw there a little bit, but I'm not comfortable. Oh, no, that's bad. That's too tight. This one's okay. But again, you're talking about chromed plastic rubbing against chrome plastic. So I don't know if that's, such a great idea. Oh, we also have a waist rotation. There is a waist swivel right there, but it's limited. This is G1 Optimus Prime is still a boxy boy, but the waist swivel is there. So anyway, bend at the knee, and you can go a little bit over 90 there. We have an ankle pivot, and it's just a full rotation. You can just rotate that thing for days. Of course, you can point, and that's just transforming it back in part of the vehicle mode. And that's pretty much it for the articulation. For a figure of his boxiness and proportions, you can get this Optimus Prime into some pretty decent poses. I had a lot of fun fiddling with this figure, and I was really getting flashbacks from when I was a kid and playing with my Transformers for the first time. It was kind of a nice feeling. Anyway, as you've seen in some of those pictures, Optimus does have a range of accessories, such as... Moving on to Optimus Prime's accessories, we'll talk about the figures first and then move on to the trailer. But of course, Optimus Prime has to have his classic ion cannon, or his ion rifle. And it's a remold of the original. In fact, I have the original right here, so you can tell the difference between the two. This one is definitely a chunkier gun, and plus it doesn't have the handle there. It just has 2 5mm pegs. Now, again, you can grab Optimus's hand, open up the fingers, slide it right in there, and we have his classic ion gun. And again, he can hold it just fine. It's a 5mm port, so just about anybody with a 5mm port can hold on to this thing. You can probably even get Optimus Prime to kind of cradle the gun a little bit. Get the hand, open it up like that. You can kind of hold the gun like he's on watch, or he's on a march, and just kind of keeping it at the ready. Let's see, just for the heck of it. Let's see if he can hold the original G1 gun. Ooh, no, he can't. Ooh, barely. No, he can barely hold this thing. This is a little bit bigger than a 5mm port, I guess. But for Optimus's second accessory, we have his classic Energon axe, seen only once in the 5-part miniseries. There we go. And it fits over top of the hand just fine. It's clear orange plastic. And once again, you know, you have options. Now that Optimus can pose, you can get this guy into some, you know, fighting stances. You can have him fight, well, I guess you could fight G1 Megatron, but G1 Megatron will just kind of stand there because he's not as posable. But it looks really good. You know, it just opens up there at the bottom, closes there. Now, for Prime's last accessory, we're going to open up the chest. Gonna flip up the panel here a little bit, open up the cab to reveal the Autobot Matrix, plus this chromed out holder, because the original Optimus Prime did not have this. So here we have the Matrix, and we'll get that out. Whoa! Oh, good. I'm glad his windows caught it. But yes, here we have a removable Matrix. It is, you know, got that gold chrome on it. It's a little hollow there, but that's fine. I wonder if is that a 5mm port? Probably isn't. No, it's not. It's the closest thing I had. But yeah, here we have the Matrix. I mean, the little crystal there is nice, and it's just, you know, it looks good. It's a good Matrix. I actually like this better than the Earthrise matrices we've been getting. But also, if you look at this, we have Optimus Prime's internal robot guts, which is also new to the Missing Link toy. You can remove it. You just kind of have to. Hold on. It can be removed. I know that. There we go. So yeah, it is removable, and the old seats are still there. You know, I suppose you could remove it for vehicle mode if you were going to do that. Where's my head? But I'm going to put that back in there because, you know, it's a nice addition. It is definitely a nice addition and much needed for this Missing Link upgrade. I'm going to put Matrix back in there. There we go. Alright, so now that has been Optimus and his 2 accessories. But the big red cab himself is not the only character here who is Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime has 3 separate personality components. The truck is just the face of the organization. Let's open up the trailer right here. I've already swiveled out the little stands. We open up the ramp. Kind of have to squeeze it because it's kind of tabbed in. It makes me a little uneasy, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. And it splits open to reveal Roller and the command deck. So let's start with Roller here. Roller's gonna roll on out. Now, the original Roller did have a spring-loaded launcher right here. They have removed this, but they still have the little pegs that would not lock. Lock is not the right word, but it would kind of hold it in place into the launcher. But we have a nice little silver roller, cast in silver plastic. You know, the wheels were all on sprues, but that was easy enough to remove. And that's pretty much it. You see the little light bar right here? Because in the cartoon show, I think it had it. But this, unlike the original, it flips to reveal a little 5mm port. And put the little gas nozzle there, and then I have no idea where this is supposed to go. There's nothing else to put this in. You just got to put it in the driver's seat, I guess. Like, I don't really know where this is supposed to go. Like, can Roller just drag it around and just, you know, if there's an emergency, he just drags a gas nozzle around the ground? I would imagine that would generate a spark and cause some problems, but, you know, so there's that. Now, you can also take Optimus's gun, Put it there in the 5mm port, and Roller's got some firepower now. So Roller can help out in the fight. You can also put Prime's gun there, so it's 5mm port compatible right there on the trailer, and there are 3 5mm ports. So, you know, you could probably get some weaponizers on this thing and, you know, do something with it, I'm sure, if you're creative enough. Last, but definitely not least, is the command deck itself. Now, this is the trailer, and, you know, as I mentioned earlier, with the stickers, those little computer panels and other readouts are supposed to go there, there, and there, and the Go sticker is supposed to go there, but it looks like they remolded that so that it doesn't, you know, wouldn't fit there anymore. But the command deck itself cranes up. Still has the working radar dish, or I should say articulated radar dish. It doesn't actually work. And we have the little grabby claw, and still has the seat that you can put a little Microman in, or whatever they were called. Micronauts, I don't remember. Now, as previously mentioned, I already lost one of the missiles to the command deck. And it'll turn up one day. I was in my garage location, and I fired it. And I missed my hand, but we'll demonstrate it here for you right now. It does groove into place. Oh, it's not working now. Uh-oh, that's not good. It does groove into place. Okay, it does. All right. So the missile grooves into place, and it launches automatically. It's one of those self-firing missiles that does what it wants to do. There we go. And there we have the command deck with the missiles. And if you press the button, I'm going to put my hand right there. Well, that didn't launch very well, but that's fine. I can live with that. Again, there we go. That hit my hand. And spring-firing missiles. We got spring-firing missiles. When was the last time we saw spring-firing missiles? I mean, seriously, people. It's a lost art, much like die-cast construction. Now, we're almost done. We're almost wrapping up here. The command deck has one other surprise, one that the original did not have, which is probably why they got rid of the launcher function for Roller, and the command deck can actually leave its own port. Just kind of locks into place there. So this itself can move around. And that's cool, because, I mean, again, these are supposed to be like the other two personality components of Optimus Prime. I mean, I can't imagine this thing fighting Megatron, duking it out with him, but, this is part of his consciousness is attached to this thing somehow. But, that's it. That's kind of fun. I like this feature a lot. Just kind of goes right back in there. But the only thing that I'm not a fan of, because the launcher has been removed, there's no place for Roller to really be secure. And, so there's nothing, it's not locked down or anything, so it's just going to roll around by itself in the trailer. That kind of sucks. But anyway, I would like to compare Missing Link Convoy to G1 Optimus Prime, or more specifically, the 2002 commemorative series G1 reissue. But this is what I have on hand. This is what we'll compare him to real quick. I really just wanted to compare him to a shiny Optimus Prime and not the older janky one that you saw earlier. But yeah, comparing Missing Link to at least a G1-ish Optimus Prime. Heck, look, I forgot to put the stickers on this guy. I've had this guy in storage for like 19 years. I have already opened it. I did not just open this figure up just for this review. So for those of you crying, oh my god, he's no longer mint in package. He has not been mint in package for years. I opened him up a long time ago. But, just to compare him, a shiny clean Optimus compared to another shiny, clean Optimus. You know, it's practically a 1-to-1, you know, pretty much a 1-to-1, you know, it's pretty much a 1-to-1 comparison here, with the exception of, like, you know, like a few areas here below the waist, like the crotch area, obviously, and, you know, where these are stickers, this is like tampographed, I believe. But it, you know, I'm sorry. I am really just happy to see a shiny, clean Optimus Prime, which is totally posable. I love this. Also, one thing about the commemorative series, you know, look at these missiles. This is more of a club than it is a missile. These early 2000s, man, they did these weird things with the missile launchers and made everything larger for, like, safety reasons and stuff, and, you know. Anyway, yeah, the fact that this figure exists demonstrates there is still love for this 40-year-old franchise. You know, I grew up with G1. I grew up with the original Optimus Prime and the original Transformers and the Decepticons and Megatron and, you know, Starscream, Jazz, Ratchet, all, you know, all of my favorites growing up as a kid. This is such a cool thing to have as a child, the original toy, or, you know, I do have the original toy. This is just not it. My original Optimus is just in storage. I can't get to him. But to grow up with the original Optimus Prime toy, and 40 years later, to get this fantastic reissue, remake, update, whatever you want to call it. But to get this version, it's mind-blowing, man. Who would have ever imagined that, first off, Transformers would last 40 years, and also we would get this fantastic updated figure? You know, well, words cannot describe. I'm really failing here, but, you know, I really like this figure. It's definitely going to be you know, a centerpiece of my collection, and, you know, 40th anniversary of Transformers, you know. Looking forward to 45, looking forward to 50. When I'm an old man, I'm probably still going to be buying and collecting Transformers. God help me. You know, but, you know, here's to another 40 more. You know, looking forward to the next generations. It doesn't always have to be G1. It could be like, you know, any of the new Transformers. It could be G2. Well, G2 is also pretty old, I guess, at this point. But, you know, Armada is old. But whatever the new stuff is, whatever the next 40 years of Transformers is going to look like, it's probably going to be really cool. Anyway, I think I've gushed about this figure enough. I'm out. I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin'. I will see you next time, and take care, everybody.